So I've always been a very calm and non-confrontational person. It's not always a good thing because sometimes in life you need to stand up for yourself, but I've always found that I've been very good at staying calm and level-headed in stressful situations. Some of it is intuitive, but most of it has come from years of reading about philosophy and personal development. So in this short video, I'm going to take us through when anger is a problem and what you can do to stay calm even when your emotions are telling you otherwise. So when does anger become an issue? Well, according to some sources I've found, it's an issue where it leads to violence, affects relationships, and generally when you feel a constant source of hostility day to day. I think this is something we all know, yet it's easier said than done, because right now when you're listening to this and I'm reading this out, we're reading this information with a logical mindset, but in the actual situation we'd be thinking with an emotional mindset. And when you're thinking with emotion, then you're not really thinking at all. Okay, let's have an example. Say for instance you've been looking forward to this restaurant for months. You're going with your partner and it's your birthday. You walk up and the waiter says to you that you're not allowed in because you're an hour late, and it turns out that your partner booked the wrong time. Every emotional response right now is telling you to get angry. Get angry at your partner, get angry at the waiter, even get angry at the people sitting in your seats eating your perfectly cooked steaks. Let's see how the Stoics would approach this problem. So in Stoicism, the Stoics see anger as having too high expectations for something that was beyond your control. They'd ask, well, why did you expect that meal to go perfectly and that your wife would book the date exactly on the right time? So you'd be inclined to reply, well, she's my wife, she loves me, she cares about me, so how is it that hard to do one simple task to make me happy? And then the Stoics would tend to reply to say, well, why do you expect that? If her making the booking is completely beyond your control, then expecting 100% that it would all go smoothly is a recipe for disaster. Why? Because if our emotions are dependent on anything that's beyond our control, then we have no control over ourselves. In that situation, we're just puppets on the strings of fate. Another Stoic technique would be to think about our own similar mistakes. Have we never made a mistake on the same sort of level? Have we never turned up late or organised something an hour early or organised an interview an hour late so the person comes at the wrong time? Like, we're all fallible beings, so getting angry at someone else's mistake also means getting angry at our own mistakes in the past. Another powerful skill I've learned is from the famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So in the book, Stephen Covey lays out the idea of talking in future tense rather than past tense. So instead of in that moment being like, how could you let this happen? What were you doing? Were you multitasking at the time? Were you distracted? But what good would that do? Nothing in the past can benefit your situation right now. So instead, talk in the future. Say, well, where could we go now? Are there any restaurants that aren't taking bookings, or any walk-in restaurants that we both really enjoy? It's the same situation but two different perspectives. One is focused on things beyond your control and one is focused on things within your control. One ends up as more arguing, the other in a nice meal out with the person you care about on your birthday. So in conclusion, when something happens that makes you feel angry, stop and think. First, well, what did I expect? Expecting everything to go smoothly was my own problem and now I'm paying the price. Second, I know I've made similar mistakes in the past and that I'll make them in the future. I wouldn't want the people around me at the time to make me feel small about them then, so why would I do the same? And finally, that it's better to think in future tense. So what can I do about the situation that I'm in right now? When you use this new perspective, there'll be a sense of calmness in your life, because you're not just waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Instead, there will be an element of serendipity in your life, because things will just start to go well for you. You're no longer an angry person, life is flowing, you're thriving, and you accept what you can't control and you change what you can. And there's no better way to live than that. Thank you so much for watching. If you took any value at all from this video, I'd really appreciate if you could hit the like button and also comment on how you deal with anger. So I've just released a free playbook to getting your life together. It takes you through the step-by-step process that I use for going from anxious and lazy to fulfilled and productive. It's completely free, so grab it while you can. It's the first link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.